this week. I'm away at work. Didn't bring my webcam, but I still want to go over last week's trades. I entered one on EU. We'll go through my analysis and see the outcome of that trade, why I took it. And yeah, we can see here that price is trending down on the higher time frame. On the 4-hour, we have multiple breaks of structures down, and this really nice push that broke all the structure right here. These are exactly what we'd like to see, these massive 4-hour for value gaps. They give me a good entry point, a nice clear trigger target. So just highlighting this gap, going down to the 1-hour, we can see that at 8 o'clock, price came into our zone. I'm not comfortable entering at 7 o'clock as this is in between London and New York, so I need to wait for this high to be swept. So right at 8 o'clock, we had a sweep of this high, sweeping yesterday's previous high, last week's Friday, last Thursday. Like, these are great inducements. These are great liquidity targets, and price is going to want to take these and head in the opposite direction in theory. Going down on the 15-minute, we can kind of see these really nice rejections here. You know, this is exactly what you want to see. Price respecting, I'll make it cleaner on the replay here. Price respecting this fair value gap so nicely. In a perfect world, this rejects and just breaks down, gives me my entry up here, and then I shoot down from there. I entered this on the 3-minute, I believe, but we can start seeing the entry pattern play out here. We had this high that swept the in-between session high as well as London high, and a strong rejection here. If we go down on the line chart, we can see some structure formed here. I started implementing the line chart recently. I really like it just to kind of show structure more clearly when I'm having a hard time identifying clear highs and lows. So we can see this push down, and this candle here was my trigger point on the 3. So we got a nice gap here and an initial reaction out of this fair value gap, a really nice reaction that we wanted to see, hoping we get the break of structure, the retracement in, and then the sell-off. In a perfect world, we see this. However, what actually happened here at 8:30 was news. I'm not sure exactly what news it was at this time. I typically don't trade news. It's just too high risk, too high volatility. So yeah, it was I was comfortable taking this trade after the time. I mean, it came into my zone 12 minutes after, so I kind of considered this invalid at this point. However, looking back on research and experience, these news candles are often easily mitigated. The highs and lows are run pretty easily, and it's almost like they never existed. Price is just going to continue in the direction that it was before this candle ever was produced. And we see that play out here. Just playing it forward, it just completely blows through this fair value gap and blows through this high that I needed to hold. I also justified this trade because the news candle didn't break this high. So I didn't really consider the structure of this candle that important as long as my high was above this all-time high. Well, not all-time high, but higher high here. So going forward, my trigger point will not be on news candles anymore. I'm just going to treat them as low liquidity points, easily run, and it's a high risk, not really worth the reward here. So it was disappointing. I entered right about here. Actually had a really nice entry here, and I mean, where this could have gone, I would have been targeting probably London low, In a perfect world, we're at about a 2.1 RR. Would have been really nice for the account. Didn't play out, and that's okay. Um, Ultimately, I think today, no matter what, would it, or Tuesday here would have been a losing day no matter what. Um, had I not taken this news candle trade, I would have taken a setup that presented itself later. We can see now multiple highs have been taken. We've Sellers were trapped with this high, and I mean now potentially with this high, even though it's kind of the same. Multiple times, sellers could have got into this market and been trapped out and pushed higher. Going down to the 3-minute my entry time frame for this trade, and we'll look at the line chart to see if there's any structure to be taken here. This I don't consider structure yet, so we'll let it keep playing and see what happens. Boom, high taken again. So had I not checked the line chart for structure, maybe I would have entered here. Would have been a nice entry, targeting London or New York low, and I would have been taken out again. This is why it's so important to wait for breaks of structure and clear structure. And it just kept kind of faking out all day. I think, yeah, this probably either wouldn't have given me a great entry that I wouldn't have gotten in, or I might have taken a worse setup with this 3-minute here. Actually, I don't even want to say that. I don't think I would have taken this because there is no clear structure. On the 1 minute, I'm sure there is. I don't trade down on the 1 minute though. So yeah, unfortunately, I took a trade because the setup was there. The setup was good. It's my setup, but I didn't take into account low liquidity news candles. Going forward, I will not be trading these news candles for my trigger points. It's gonna have to be until this high and this low has been swept or it's moved far enough away from a news candle for it to make sense. Um, yeah, on to another week. Next week coming up will probably be my last week of trading. I am really excited to, take December off, spend it on the holidays, a little recoup, work on my mental. Q4 has been really, really tough for me. So, yeah, I'm excited for all the data I'm going to go over and just review, and just try to be better at this. Like, this stuff's so important. You got to keep learning. These videos are just a way to keep myself accountable. I think my first video I said, I'm gonna let a trade run its full length, and I've been doing that. I haven't been taking partials anymore, and now I'm not gonna be trading on news candles. All right, I'll catch you guys later, and thanks for watching.